Okay, so we have two heights of tees set up. We've got something really low and something extremely high. Now, a driver, Matty, is designed to have an upward delivery. Now, you can still make it work off a low tee. As a general rule of thumb, though, most golfers should be hitting or trying to hit slightly up on the golf ball. There are certain cases when you're a long drive athlete, such as Matty himself, that you want it super, super high. So what we're going to do, Matt, is I want you to come in here. I want you to talk about what you see with the players that you coach and also in your own game and the difference between teeing it low and teeing it high.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of the times I'll see my students and people that are struggling with driver distance, especially, and curve of the golf ball, teeing up the ball way too low to the point where it's really on the bottom part of the driver as you're setting up, which really isn't helping promote a positive attack angle. So it's not really giving them a chance to access a low point that's before the ball. A lot of the time they're hitting it out of the bottom of the driver. They're swinging across the ball to try and kind of get a little bit more on top of it, hitting a high spin slice, and that's kind of not really a desirable ball flight.
And a lot of that, mate, is really down to intent, isn't it? So if you set up to that low tee that we're out there, and with a driver, because it's got such a big head, and every other shot in golf, we essentially need to hit down on the ball for the ball to go up.
Yeah.
If you were to try and hit up on the golf ball, you'd top it.
Yep.
So as you swing to the top for me, we're going to see that players will generally start to move forward on it and swing down, which turns a driver, which has on average 9, 10, 11 degrees aloft into pretty much nothing. And you hit these big worm burners. Now, the problem with that is when you de-loft it, you get more of a deflecting blow in a sidewards fashion as well.
Yeah.
And the ball's spinning all over the shop. It's very hard to manage, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So from that, mate, now looking at those players who are teeing it down too low, let's say we were going to raise it up a little bit, and this would be a pretty standard length tee. If you just put the end in like that and then set up to the golf ball, recommendation is usually about half a golf ball above the tip of the club is kind of what we're looking for. Get a tall tee, put the tip in, and then from there, if from behind the golf ball you can see about half a ball above, that is a good position. Now, why is that a good height for players?
So this gives us the chance to create, as we were referring to before, a low point. So the low point in your swing arc that's actually before the golf ball. So when that occurs, you're going to produce a positive attack angle. So all things being equal, you're going to kind of launch it a little higher, reduce some spin, improve your carry distance, have more room to access a swing direction that's moving to the right, which is, again, we want to hit, as the best drivers do in the world, big high draws with low spin. So if we could tee the ball a little higher and we can create that positive attack angle, we're going to have more chance to do that.
Okay. Why don't you go and hit one down there from a normal tee height? Now, Matty hits it way too long for this range, being his longest driver over 460 yards. So what we're going to do is just get him to hit a smooth one down there so he doesn't knock it into the houses. Beautiful. So as we can see now, after going from a very, very short tee to a mid tee, now talk to us about this thing right here.
Yeah, so he's tornado tees. We've got it in a T-claw there as well. So both available for anyone to buy. Really durable tee and a really good tee plug option to put into a range mat when you don't have any option of putting your tee or using your tee that you want. And the tornado tee has a kind of mesh topper. So they're like the kind of brush tee sort of system. So you're teeing it up, you've got a little bit of give, and you're trying not to hit the plastic on the bottom. So you're effectively brushing the mesh at the top, which again gives you more kind of room to hit up on the golf ball.
So it's great for intent too, of just going, can I hit the black part of the tee rather than the white part? That's just going to help assist in giving you more of an upward angled attack. Very much the same principle as the brush tee there. So from that, being a long drive athlete, right, you're always trying to get this small little percentage wins in every way. Does that help you at all with distance and reducing friction or something?
I mean, for us, it's trying to tee the ball up as high as possible, use very low lofted drivers in the range of kind of 2 to 5 degrees. So that we can fall into a window of launch that we can optimize carry. So we wouldn't necessarily want to tee the ball that high with a 10.5 degree driver because we're not going to get optimal spin characteristics. But with the equipment that we're using, which is low loft, we want to hit up on the ball in the range of 10 degrees. So giving us a tee height, which is kind of 4 inches maximum height, we can then access that low point to create that high launch. And we're trying to hit the ball 170 to 200 feet in the air. So
it's a long way. And we'll get some clips of Matty hitting some drives just so you can see how much through impact his body's shifting back and up.
Yeah.
That's also helping him get that upward angled attack and sending bombs on it. So when we are now looking at a tee this high, now the average golfer may not need something this high, but it's actually not a bad training drill for them to do, is it?
Yeah.
Now, if you had a player in here and they were teeing the ball way too low and they thought that this was high, and then you said, why don't we try a little skill development exercise, tee this thing up as high as we possibly can. What would be like a little training exercise you get them to do? Maybe without a golf ball first, just trying to hit the black part.
Trying to brush the top of the tee. Sometimes you can kind of hover the driver in the air to start off with, to kind of give yourself some room, really, or give yourself a kind of judgment of where you're going to be moving through the impact zone.
Interesting.
But yeah, from this tornado tee perspective, it would be trying to brush the top of the tee, keeping the tee in the tee claw, not smashing the plastic part of the tee, so that you can then effectively massively increase your attack angle. Then you can go down a little bit in tee height, move back to like a neutral baseline.
Yeah.
But yeah, great for skill development. So great for awareness of strike. You can use kind of impact tape or spray, and you can get an idea of where you're hitting the ball on the face.
Yep.
And when we're teeing it too low, that bottom strike is not a great place to be hitting it with your drive.
Okay, so why don't you have a practice swing here, mate, and just try and clip that black part of the tee for us. Perfect. And we can see it just brushes nicely. Let's do that again. Fantastic. Once more. And players, when you are doing this, you'll start to feel and bring some awareness of how your body is in space. Probably feels a little bit more back through the impact.
Yeah.
Bring your awareness to the club head. Feel it rise through the moment of impact.
Yeah.
And then you'll be surprised, like once you go in and then hit a soft one off that tee there for me, Matty. Now he's done that. You can see tee didn't move out of the ground. Nice upward delivery. And that really had that ascending blow that we're looking for. So
thanks for watching this video. YouTube thinks that you would benefit from watching this one next. So click that card and it could be the tip that you need to take your game to the next level. I'll see you next time.